Welcome back to Jay Knows Nothing. Who dey to all the Bengals fans, Bengals Nation out there. Hey, the Bengals pulled it out. They won against the Kansas City Chiefs 27-24. I'm here to give my thoughts on some good things and some bad things that happened during the game. First off, I want to give big props to the offensive line. Offensive line has been playing almost pretty much lights out these past few games. And they've been opening up the running lanes. You see P. Ryan, he's doing his thing. And then also keeping Burrow clean in the pocket. I believe the Kansas City Chiefs, matter of fact, yes, they only sacked him one time. And they were even on occasion where Burrow was just sitting back. He was just sitting back there just like he was looking at all the route progressions out there. I mean, it was just a great thing to see him just sitting in a pocket, in a comfortable pocket, and just being able to deliver the ball to all his receivers. It was so exciting to see him just being able to be so comfortable in the pocket. So big ups to the offensive line, and of course, Joe Burrow did his thing. Joe Burrow just comes up in big moments. We haven't had a quarterback like this in a while. I mean, Burrow is just. He's just that dude. I mean, simple as that. He is just that dude. Not only just executing plays through the air, but also on the ground as well. There was one situation where he did it, where it was a zone read, and it looks like he was going to hand it off to P. Ryan, but he ended up keeping the ball and running down the field for 16 yards. I mean, Burrow had close to almost 50 yards rushing. He had about 46 yards rushing to be exact. I mean, that's fairly impressive for a guy who's really more known for throwing the ball, but he also utilizes plays with his legs. And that tells you, Burrow is really being Burrow. I mean, he's just that dude, man. I mean, whether if he needs to make a play through the air or if he needs to make a play with his legs, he's willing to do what it takes to win. And just like he said, this is what we do. It's December. This is what we do. We gonna win. Also want to give big ups to Samaje P. Ryan. If you had seen in my previous video, I talked about that. Hey, P. Ryan should still remain the backup when Mixon comes back and healthy. Of course, Mixon was still out with being on the concussion protocol. P. Ryan stepped in and did his thing. He had over 100. He had 106 yards passing. I'm sorry. He had 106 yards rushing. Now, if he had that passing, I'd be impressed. 106 yards rushing, and also added 6 catches for 49 yards. So he was definitely doing a complete back. He was a complete back. He was running the football. He was also catching the football. He had over about 155 yards of total offense. That is great production. With Mixon and then Samaje P. Ryan, I mean, you're looking at a more deadlier attack now. So when Mixon rests, you're not missing much of a beat with P. Ryan coming in. So I wouldn't be surprised if when Mixon comes back healthy, that P. Ryan gets put into the mix a little bit in earlier in the game on early downs as well to help spell Mixon, keep him fresh. So having a good 1-2 punch in the backfield, I mean that's a good problem to have. I still do believe that yes, Mixon is still the number one back. I mean, I know P. Ryan has been impressive, but he's still the backup. He's still the second running back. Mixon is still number one, y'all. So another thing that I've liked about what the Bengals are doing offensively is that whenever they go to their big man formation, they either bring an extra lineman or extra tight ends and then have one single wide receiver, which usually is Stanley Morgan Jr. He's their blocking receiver, special teams guy, and anytime he comes in the game, he's usually used to block. They have used play action pass out of those formations. Now, yesterday they did it with Hayden Hurst going deep. Burrow just barely missed him on the throw, but 100% of the time, that was a run. That was always a run. But to see them actually do play action passes out of it, I mean, it's really going to make it less predictable instead of more predictable for defenses. And now they're like, oh, we got to watch out for this. We got to watch out to make sure that Hurst doesn't sneak out, or Wilcox, or Stanley Morgan doesn't beat us deep, because you just never know. Although he hasn't had many opportunities to catch the ball, but hey, he's still a wide receiver. And he can still catch the ball, at least we hope. So at least we hope, right? Those are some of the good things that I noticed about the game. And also the defense stepped up when they need to step up. Joseph Asai, he had that key sack on Mahomes. He had that key sack on Mahomes that forced that 55-yard field goal attempt at the towards the end of the game. Without that sack, Mahomes probably would have got enough for the first down. Although it looked like there was a few linebackers that were right there too, that were basically waiting right there as well. So either way it is, it probably would have been a closer fourth. It would have been either a 4th and short or a first down. So Asai being able to get that shoestring tackle really saved the game for us, for the Bengals. So, and helped to force that long field goal. Now, a few things that I didn't like. First of all, well, Jamar Chase. Chase had a great game, but one thing about Chase, one thing I've noticed, it seems like his Twitterness has gotten onto the field and has been causing unsportsmanlike penalties. I mean, love him, and we all love his fire. And I've seen comments of like, hey, I will take that penalty because Justin Reed was talking smack. He didn't even know who the tight end was. Well, he did find out who T. Higgins was. He scored a touchdown and also made that key 3rd down to help seal the game. So, but yeah, Chase, he just got to keep, be in the game. Don't let other players get into your head, because that's exactly what the Steelers did. I don't know what it is with him wanting to take mouthpieces out of players' mouths. He did that the first game against the Steelers. Then I believe he tried to do that against someone on the Saints, I believe. So I don't know what the idea with him wanting to touch grab other people's mouthpieces out of their mouth or something like that. I mean, that's I mean, with COVID and everything, I don't think you want to do that, bruh. But yeah, I mean, those type of penalties, we just don't need those. Those hurt. Another thing I didn't like was, oh man, Zach Taylor. And I don't know if it's just him or if it's a combination of Taylor and the offensive coordinator, Brian Callahan. But that 4th and 1 play, I mean, doing the jet sweep, I mean, I would have been cool with the quarterback sneak there, or even giving the ball to P. Ryan, or I would even settle for because the way they were playing, the way the Chiefs were, everybody was up on the line. Honestly, I was kind of thinking like it was going to be like a play action to Chase, and Chase go to the end zone. I wouldn't have minded that play either, or even a field goal at that point. But the jet sweep to Taylor on that one, it wasn't a good play. It just didn't. I mean, it's easy to say that because it didn't work, but a jet sweep on a 4th and 1, I'm not down for that. And another play I know all of us had us nervous was the 2nd down and 4th play towards the end of the game, right when the Bengals were in the position to basically run out the clock. So Samaje Perine, he got the ball on 1st down, 1st and 10. He got 6 yards. So immediately, when you're trying to run down the clock, especially towards the end of the game, Kansas City has no timeouts. It's just before the 2-minute warning. What do? You run, right? Not the Bengals, apparently. So apparently they believe they saw something that they could, instead of running the ball, they believe they could just pass for it and get a 1st down. What happened was it ended up being a busted play, and Burrow went ahead and took the sack to help at least run down the clock to the 2-minute warning. So then it's not an extra down before the 2-minute warning. That was a very bad play call. I mean, P. Ryan just gave you 6 yards. Why not run him again? I mean, heck, you could have run the exact same play, or even did a zone read or something, even with Burrow or something. I mean, it's at that time in the game, you just don't call a pass play. Sometimes being conservative is a good thing. Run that ball. You got 6 yards on the first play. Who knows if you'll get another 6 yards on the next place, or even 4 for the first down. You get that first down, it's game over. It's game over. And then you wouldn't even have to worry about that 3rd and 11. I'm thankful for, Burrow and Higgins on that connection. Thankful. I mean, we were all thankful on that one. So that basically helped to eliminate the mistake from the play before. So but yeah, the play calling in key situations have to be better. Sometimes being conservative is a good thing. We could have either kicked that field goal on 4th and 1, or chose another, or did a quarterback sneak or something else. And that 2nd down, 2nd and 4, with the game, basically the game in hand, just run the ball. Don't try any pretty. Stay away from the cuteness. Just play smash mouth football. Just run that ball. All right, so those were some of the few observations that I had as far as some of the low points in the game. This was a great win for the Bengals, and hopefully they can keep that momentum for next week, going into the next game with the Cleveland Browns, a revenge game. Well, let's just say this. Burrow needs this game against the Browns. Burrow has not beaten the Browns. Zach Taylor has not beaten the Browns. The Browns, what they do is ground and pound. What they've done against the Bengals in the past is just bullying them up front. Their offensive line, bullies. Their defensive line, Myles Garrett, he's just unstoppable to block. They can't block Myles Garrett. So hopefully, with the offensive line keep improving, hopefully they can keep him to a minimum as far as pressures. I mean, Garrett probably will get a sack. There's no time. I mean, Myles Garrett probably will get a sack in the game. I mean, he's just that spectacular. He's like, what, a 99 in Madden? That's how you beat Cleveland. You got to win up front and penetrate that offensive line to stop Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Those are the two that have given the Bengals problems ever since. Ever since. I mean, that's how Baker Mayfield has always won against the Bengals. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Nick Chubb is the key. Chubb and Hunt. If you stop Chubb and Hunt, if you keep them under 100 yards at least, keep them under 90 yards, Bengals, could be looking at 9-4. I thank you all for tuning in to Jay Knows Nothing. Please like, subscribe if you like the content. Also, feel free to make a comment if you have any comments about the game, or if you agree or disagree with the points that I made. Put it there in the comments. Until then, see y'all next time. Peace. Hooray!